Hello again, World Mythologies class. So what I thought I would do today in a real short video is just go over some of the questions and concerns that were raised at my optional Zoom meeting so that everybody can benefit from what we learned. So the first thing, there was a question about the archetype analysis assignment. And what I said about that was, obviously, you have to construct an equation for those five archetypes. And what I want you to do is really think about what those mean. And you're going to have to draw upon your own experience. I know that you are reading myths and exploring mythology, but you're also going to have to draw upon your own experience because this is how we learn. We have to draw from what we know and add it to new things, and we have to do it in a way that is that I guess the word I'm looking for just it puts it all together. So you have to bring your experience to the assignment and really try to learn something along the way. One of the examples that I talked about in the Zoom meeting was the idea of a mentor. Literally, the name mentor comes from a Greek myth in the Odyssey about a man named Mentor, who's this old wise guy, wise person who is a helper to Odysseus and his family. And what I would say an equation for a mentor might include is something like, this is someone who is older and wiser, someone who is not necessarily a warrior anymore. They may have been, but in the Greek world, to have a lot of street cred, you have to have been someone oftentimes who either had some sort of connection to the gods, or you're a bard, or you were someone who had military prowess beforehand. An excellent example of this is Nestor in the Iliad. So someone who is a little bit older and wiser. They have a skill set that is different than the other heroes. They can they think in a different way. They give good advice. They give good advice. A mentor is not someone who gives bad advice. So they're older, they're wiser, they give good advice. They're usually associated in some way with the family of the person that they're helping in some way. A really good, more contemporary example would be the example of Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Star Wars franchise. Obi-Wan, of course, is the one we learned from the prequels, who took young Luke Skywalker away after the death of his mother Padme, and took him from his father Anakin, who of course has become Darth Vader at this point, and sends him to his uncle to be raised on the planet Tatooine. So Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original Star Wars A New Hope, that movie, would be considered a mentor, a classic mentor. So think about what you would say there. And a student asked, well, how deep do you want me to go? How should I write a ton of, how many sentences should we write? I would say 1 to 2 sentences describing the mentor character that you choose. So let's say if I was going to do mentor, I would do mentor. Actually, you know what? I'd probably do Nestor from the Iliad. I think I know him a little bit better. So I would do Nestor from the Iliad, and I would do Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars. These would be the mentors that I would study, because I have to give 2 examples, one from the world of myth and one from the world of what I know. So with the archetype analysis, really just try to do your best with the equation and really think about the character that you choose. One example that's not on there is the idea of a lone wolf. So for example, in the world of comic books, Wolverine is a good example of a lone wolf. One of the Marvel's X-Men. He's kind of part of the X-Men. He is, but he has to be dragged kicking and screaming sometimes. So there you have it. Do your best, 1 to 2 sentences describing your choice for that archetype, and really, really draw upon your own experience and stretch yourself a little bit to go to some of the myths we're reading. You don't have to limit yourself to ancient Near Eastern myths. You could go to the Greeks. You could go to other mythologies that we aren't even going to study. One of the World Mythologies we could study. There's no way in a class of World Mythologies to study all of the world's mythologies. That would take forever. People's life work is devoted to studying all of the world's mythologies. We have to pick and choose in an introductory class like this because we have to get to the basics. So that's what I have done in designing this course. So there's that one. Now, as far as building an ancient Near Eastern underworld, this is a very outside-the-box assignment. And I think that it will do a lot of good to really think about a physical structure and a diorama in a way that you use boxes, cardboard boxes, something physical to sort of build your underworld. I gave you all sorts of, you have to choose at least certain things within the assignment to use within your underworld. And the reason I'm doing this is because projects like this, physical projects, teach you more. You learn by doing. I know that very much. I learned a lot doing projects like this, and I've had a lot of success with college students doing projects like this. I shared an example with the Zoom meeting yesterday of a student who built a model of Mother Earth, Gaia, with Uranus being, slain, castrated there on Gaia. I mean, that image. I mean, I still got the model here. It was that good. That will never leave me. The four brothers of Kronos, Iapetus, Coeus, Creus, and Hyperion hold down their father while Kronos attacks him. So really, really, really powerful, physical. It was this big styrofoam ball, and you had this guy, spreading. It was really interesting and awesome interpretation of the slaying of Uranus by Kronos, and thus leading Kronos to become the king of the Greek gods. And of course, he's later overthrown by his son, Zeus. So for that assignment, I really want you to be bold. This is something that I often tell students. You're not going to learn anything by trying to just please me. I know that sounds a little different, but trying to make your professor happy by giving me what you think I necessarily want isn't necessarily going to be what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to do something that is for you. Like, make this ancient Near Eastern underworld project, make it your own. Do something creative for you. Be bold. I think that that's one of the issues that in higher education, I have a big issue now. I think that a lot of times we aren't empowering students to be bold, to make choices for themselves, to do projects that they find interesting in ways that they want to do. I think that oftentimes we've got this idea that students just have to just check boxes. Here, check this box, check this box, check this box. Sure, I've got a rubric with the ancient Near Eastern thing, but you've got a lot of leeway there. You've got a lot of leeway. You've got a lot of freedom. So be bold with this assignment and make it your own. This is something that I always say to my students, and I just believe it. And I just think that that's the best way to learn, by learning by doing and being bold and moving forward and making mistakes too. Like, you're gonna make mistakes in this course, and that's okay. I make mistakes all the time. I have to reshoot videos all the time. I have to change assignments all the time. It just is what it is. So thank you for listening. The Zoom meeting, optional Zoom meeting, it went really well. For those of you who did not join us, that's okay. But I just wanted to give you the insights so that you would have some information to go on moving forward with these Unit 1 assignments. So thank you very much. Have a great night.